it's been the worst year of our lives. It's hard to describe in just a few minutes as far as the day-to-day pain.
He's been gone for more than 18 months, and now the story of missing St. George teen Macin Smith is about to be seen by a nationwide audience. Today, on a special edition of Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, an exclusive interview with Macin's parents and what you can do to help bring their son home.
It's the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GephartDaily.com. Kind of something different today.
This is a pretty intense morning for us, and I think that you're going to want to follow along because it's been 18 months now since Macin Smith disappeared in St. George, and his parents have been searching for him tirelessly. There's been tens of thousands of people who have participated in searches, called in tips, prayed, tried to support the family. And now this is a really powerful weekend because, number one, there'll be a search tomorrow in St. George looking for Macin. And then on Sunday, there's a huge show. Investigation Discovery is actually featuring Macin as part of a nationwide show where they actually focus on Daisy, our very own reporter, because this is something that she's followed from the beginning and developed a really strong relationship with the family. So what we're going to do is show you just a clip from the Investigation Discovery piece. And then Daisy and I had the opportunity to talk to Tracy yesterday, who is one of the most amazing and courageous women I think I've ever met. So we'll begin with a clip from the show, and then we're going to talk to Tracy.
At 7 o'clock the next morning, the Smiths begin their regular routine.
Darren got up, knocked on Macin's bedroom door, and said, "Macin, are you up?"
And he just said, yep. And Darren came back to bed.
A little while later, they hear Macin getting ready.
We heard him about 7:30-ish, kind of rifling around in the kitchen. And then around 7:40-ish, I heard the garage door close. And that was standard.
Macin's bus stop is a 2-minute walk around the corner. Both his parents say they assumed he was headed there. But neither says they actually saw their youngest son that morning.
So they really don't know what could have happened after he walked out the door.
I watched the preview last night and I couldn't get through it myself.
It's basically hard to watch your own life playing out in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it was actually quite shocking to me. The realism of the boy that they chose to play Macin, his presence is perfect, and that's what was shocking to me.
Tracy, we know also that the search is going to be on Saturday. Are you going to be there? You know, are you going to be part of it? Talk us through the search.
Oh, okay. Absolutely, I'm going to be there, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm so appreciative of Red Rock Search and Rescue for hosting this search and gathering the community together. And I feel really good about being unified with Red Rock Search and Rescue and covering the area that we are. It's going to be north of our residence. It's a tremendous amount of acreage, and the more people we have out, the more area we can cover, obviously. And I hope we'll do a thorough job at ruling that area out.
What do these searches feel like for you?
On one hand, it's very morbid to think about what indeed we're searching for. If I'm going to rely on the optimistic side of things, I don't like to go there. But the realist in me says it's very necessary to do that. And I just and I don't mean just me speaking. I mean my family needs answers, and I'm willing to look at both sides of that issue.
You know, it's interesting to me, Tracy, because, you know, working in crisis work the way you do, it seems like you're uniquely gifted in certain ways for this. of being able to organize your thoughts and being able to concentrate on priorities and addressing, you're right, your family and who's really hurting here. But on the other hand, I can't imagine all of the emotion that pounds through you at the same time. Have you been able to channel some of your expertise to, I guess, keep yourself sane?
Yes, and sane is a very subjective term. I walk a fine line, I think, every day. But I feel like the work that I do daily keeps me grounded and keeps me connected. And being of benefit to other people heals my soul too. So I'm actually really grateful for the experience I have and that I continue to have during this process.
April 7th is Mason's 19th birthday. Do you know what you're going to be doing on that day?
I honestly don't want to look that far ahead. I know that sounds ridiculous. It's just over a week away, but 19 just old to me. He left when he was 17. It just I can't believe I didn't see him through his 18th year. So approaching that date is heart-wrenching. I do not know what I'm going to be doing April 7th. I do know that I took the night off work that day. I was supposed to be on call, so I do know that I will be home that night. My middle son will be in town with his wife. I don't know. My family, my extended family, just announced to me that I can hardly talk about it because I think it's so thoughtful, but my parents and siblings got together. They purchased a star and named it after Macin. So it's something that's enduring and lasting and forever. So I thought out of all the gifts that could be rendered, that was incredibly thoughtful. So maybe I'll be watching the stars that night and seeing if I can figure out where he is.
I wonder if you talk to other moms who have been in this situation, because it's so uniquely painful and so bizarre, because part of your very personal grief has to be more or less spread out over the media because you need to have this attention focused on your boy. Have you had any good advice from any of the moms?
It's been a unifier, not a divider. Absolutely, it's been a unifier. And I appreciate the ladies who've reached out to me, and I've in turn, at times when I feel like I can be of some support, have been able to reach out to other mothers too.
Tracy, do you think there's a chance Macin will see the Disappeared show?
I hope he does. I hope he does see and realize the impact that he's left, and
Just a final question for you, if you would, is if you could say, if you had one message to your family, the 27,000 people who are on the Help Find Macin Smith Facebook page, just that kind of that network, Macin's Army, they call themselves. What would you say to them?
What comes up is extreme gratitude. We've had to borrow everybody else's faith when ours has been waning. I do not believe we could have got through this or to this point without you. That's what I would say.
All right, you can catch this show, it's called Disappeared, The Silent Son on Investigation Discovery. This is going to be this Sunday, 7 o'clock. You can find that on Comcast at channel 271, DirecTV at 285, and Dish at 192. One easy thing to do is to learn more about the search and the show is just simply to go to GephartDaily.com. There's a Macin Smith page right up there, and then you can absolutely just click on that. It will have all the information for you. And for Todd and me, this is one of the things I think we're proudest about being part of the GephartDaily.com news team, is because this is something they committed to when Macin first disappeared, and they have bulldogged it ever since. They refused to let go of it, and they have done everything
She's incredibly strong.
to keep this in front.
Just amazed.
Keep this in front of the public. So it's amazing.
So the usual parameters are going for the search, and they're asking for 1 day supply. I'd go 2, but of water, food, sunscreen, the works. It is high desert, so if you want to volunteer, you can get some more information at GephartDaily.com. The people doing the rescue is Red Rock Service Rescue and Recovery St. George. You can check out their Facebook as well.
All right, let's go to News with Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. It's brought to you by Robert J. DeBry. If you need help from Robert J. DeBry, you can go to robertdebry.com. He also has offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. It's also brought to you by Executive Transportation. Go to executiveutah.com if you'd like to book your rides. This is discreet professional service. And then also from Columbus Travel, who is currently celebrating their April sale, where you can save hundreds off their already low vacation prices. Go to columbusvacations.com for more information. Daisy, what's going on?
Hello everyone, here's what's making news this Friday morning on GephartDaily.com. Photos of London terror survivor Melissa Cochran have been released showing the West Bountiful resident recovering in her British hospital room. A smiling picture of Melissa on crutches with the caption, "Getting stronger every day," was posted on a GoFundMe page. Melissa and her husband Kurt were celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary in London when they were caught up in the attack. Kurt Cochran was among 3 civilians who lost their lives that day. A policeman was also killed. A man is in extremely critical condition after being hit by a car on State Street in Sandy late Thursday afternoon. Police say the victim was in a crosswalk when he was struck by a northbound driver near 9200 South State. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And the LDS Church is asking Senator Orrin Hatch for help when it comes to processing missionary visas. The church is concerned about the time it takes for foreign religious workers to receive their visas to the United States. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has 75,000 full-time missionaries, including about 1,000 foreign-born proselytizers who enter the US every year. And now a quick look at Friday's weather, where we continue to see showers across the state. Highs today will be in the mid-40s. Tomorrow we see a return to the 60s with sunny skies. That's it for now. More headlines 24/7 on GephartDaily.com.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow at Nothing Bundt Cakes. They're celebrating their 9th anniversary, and April's been doing this now for 9 years at 10389 South State Street in Sandy, creating decadent, luscious cakes that are bound to turn you into a zombie-loving slave of cream cheese frosting, because there's no way around it. It's the best ever. Now, if you come in, we're also doing buy one, get one free buntlets. You can also sign up to win buntlets for a year. They have all kinds of amazing sales and prices, and for the first 100 people through the door, all kinds of treats. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's 10389 South State Street in Sandy. Nothing But Cakes opens up at 9 a.m. I would suggest lining up right then to make sure you get all the goodies. And then we'll be there at noon with a gift card giveaway and all kinds of extra wonderful cakes. Yes, my dream is they'll have one prize where it's just a gigantic vat of cream cheese frosting and I'm allowed to dive right into it. That probably won't happen, but please join us anyway. We'll be back right after this. We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. And by Columbus Travel, the best travel deals on the planet. Be sure to take advantage of our April sale. columbusvacations.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com?
Yeah, I actually found out that some people think that I killed my son, and it was it's devastating.
All right.
Can you imagine?
No.
As a father, having to
No.
have someone say that to you and having to answer them back.
That on top of everything else. By the way, the interview is coming up next, and this is the full interview on an exclusive from GephartDaily.com.
This is the first time that Tracy and her husband had spoken together to anyone really in the press.
And this should fill in some of the blanks of the story.
All right, here we are, a year later. What's on your mind?
I just miss him. You know, that's why I think about it. Every time I think of Macin, I just miss him. You know?
Thoughts? Any different than it was 6 months ago, a year ago? How do you keep hope alive? You still have hope.
Oh, I still have hope. Yeah, we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have hope. Keep hope alive by believing he's out there somewhere, and that we just need to reach him somehow and just let him know that he's welcome to come home anytime. He's welcome to pick up the phone and let us know where he is, and
Yeah.
we just miss him.
As you talk amongst yourselves, you know, what in your gut do you think happened? What has happened? Where is he? In your gut, what do you think? Any idea?
I think we differ. Darren's opinion differs from mine.
What's your opinion, Darren?
I think he might have committed suicide. We just haven't found him yet.
And yours?
That he's out there somewhere experiencing life, and when he's ready to come home, he'll come home.
If you had to do things different, way back at the beginning, what would you have done differently with regard to police delays, reporting delays, investigative delays, that type of thing?
He left a couple times before and he came home.
After what period of time?
Oh, the same night.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So we just were anticipating that he was blowing steam off and cool down and come home.
What happened that last night? Can you walk me through? You're the last person to see him. Walk me through that minute by minute, if you would.
I heard a noise about 1:30 in the morning, and I got up, and I was going to check on Macin. We purposely disconnect the internet that night because he had school tomorrow, and we didn't want him up all night.
So that was probably an argument, disconnecting the internet.
No, we just decided amongst ourselves that before we go to bed, we'll disconnect the internet so he
The
won't be up.
temptation would not be there.
So you did that before 1:30. Now it's 1:30 and you heard a noise.
Right, so I suspected he got up and connected the internet. Right, I went to his room. I saw the blue light under the door.
The internet's on.
Yeah, he's on his laptop. So I said, I knocked on the door and I said, Macin, it's 1:30. You got school tomorrow. You know, give me your laptop, give me your phone. And I took it, and then I went to bed. And then
there was an argument there of some sort. No, really? Okay.
It was just he handed him over. He didn't really say anything. He just and I didn't yell at him. I just kind of tired. I said, Macin, it's 1:30 in the morning. You have school tomorrow. So then at 7 o'clock
in the morning,
I knocked on his door. I said, Macin, you up? And he said, yes. And so I went back to bed. I didn't have work. And so we heard him get up. We heard him in the kitchen.
Which is normal.
Yep.
Getting ready for school.
Sure.
We just assumed he was leaving for the bus. He leaves for the bus.
Yeah, he does not, he's 17. He does not need to be monitored through breakfast. I get it, yeah.
So about 7:40.
Yeah, we just assumed he went to school. And we had traded cars because I was going to take him out driving. I was going to take him out driving the day before, but he said he had a headache.
He was feeling sick.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, I'll take you out driving. So,
Teaching driving, yeah.
So I was waiting for him to get home from school. And I texted my wife about, I don't know, 3 o'clock, 3:30, and I said, he didn't come home. And so then we thought, okay, well, he's upset. Maybe come home with tonight, and didn't come home.
Did he seem upset at 7 o'clock in the morning? You didn't see him though.
No, we didn't see him.
Yeah. Okay, so then when did you start to think, boy, there's something wrong here? It's more than just a cooling off.
10:30 at night, we said, okay, he's run away. That's when we called the police. And they came in and took a report.
And he said he'd drive around, look for him that night. It was great. 'Cause
Okay.
we hadn't
He
lived
had a
there
car?
long.
He had one of the cars?
He doesn't drive.
Okay.
Like he had his learner's permit, and that's why Darren was going to go out with him to accumulate his hours. But we'd only lived in the area for a few months, so it's not like he had a ton of friends that he'd just take off to hang out with. So we figured he's walking around there somewhere. Police will find him.
You know, what is the pressure like on you? Because you're the last one to see him, so you've been questioned, and I'm positive that was very uncomfortable, if it's not uncomfortable now. You see?
Yeah, I actually found out that some people think that I killed my son, and it was it's devastating. But we all make assumptions when we see somebody disappeared on TV all the time. We all look at the husband and say, oh, I'll bet he killed her, or I'll bet, it's common for people to figure out in their own minds what.
Not just people, police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I found that out, I called up the police and I said, look, I want to do everything I can. Come into my house, I'll take a lie detector test, just, anything we can do to prove that I'm innocent, And they did a polygraph test, and I guess I found out from her that I passed, but I'm sure there's, I hope that's enough to,
How's your family dealing with it? Your children, who?
It's been
It's an anniversary time, after all,
horrible. It's been the worst year of our lives. It's hard to describe in just a few minutes as far as the day-to-day pain. One day, one of my daughters will be doing okay. The next, she's crying in her room. Like, it's almost like we share grief, and we pass the torch along, and whoever's strong at the time comforts the other one. So we have great family support. It's been a process that's been pretty trying.
No matter what the ultimate outcome is, would closure, one way or the other, be helpful?
Yes. Yes.
I would think so.
Yeah.
What's next?
It's tough. We're just playing it day by day, hoping things will change. I'll continue to look and make sure his name's out there and not forgotten. His face is out there. I think Darren would like closure, just like all of us. We grieve differently. It's harder for him.
I go out there and look for him myself. That's what I do. She does it through the media. So we both do things that we think are effective.
Yeah.
But it's just
there's so much.
A drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
It's undaunting. There's so much.
And then there's outside of St. George.
Yeah.
And it's a year later.
Yeah. He could be anywhere, really.
All right, so once again, if you want to watch the show, and please make sure you share this with everyone, it's Disappeared. It'll be on the Investigation Discovery Channel this Sunday, April 2nd, starting at 7 p.m., and then there's also a search.
That's right, and the information on the search, if you want to participate in this, first of all, share the story, because if you don't know people in St. George, other people do. Call your friends in St. George, and they can participate. And that's coming up Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All the information you're looking for is on GephardtDaily.com, and we'll be back right after this.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. The Todd and Erin Morning stream is actually available anytime at GephartDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right. I need to find out about the giraffe.
Poor Alice. No one will leave this woman. April. Excuse me. I keep saying Alice.
We get letters, we get texts,
I apologize.
we get email. Wait.
April,
Here
honey,
she is.
I'm so sorry.
I don't see any baby.
Oh, but she looks so, look at her walking. You can tell she's got a backache. That's just heartbreaking. She says, like, my back hurts, my ankles are fat and swollen. I hate you all.
She doesn't have anyone to rub her little hooves.
I know. There's not a professional hoof rubber for something like this, but she deserves it, poor little bunny.
All right, I feel a little sorry because I made fun of her now.
I know, right?
Yeah, I do.
I think you should apologize to April.
I feel bad.
She's so adorable.
Vanna White from Wheel of Fortune is retiring.
Now, how old is Vanna?
She's 60.
That is so hard to picture because I swear I caught a glimpse of that show like a couple of years ago, and she looked precisely the same.
Right, 35 years ago.
Just gorgeous, unnaturally pretty.
The only thing she regrets is she did the shoot in negligees and stuff, and then Playboy put her up. But 35 years on the show Wheel of Fortune.
Now, what were you saying about her
You have to say it
dresses?
that way.
Oh, of course.
Guess how many dresses she only wore them once, and it was 2,600 dresses.
Get out.
And they go back to the designer, and that's it. And she started 35 years ago. Oh, do we have that? Because she's like this youngin'. She's just this little
fresh-faced, adorable monkey. Oh, do we have the picture?
Yeah,
oh,
there she is. Look at that.
Oh, she's got the big country hair. We all had that with the Aquanet hair.
Right.
That is fantastic. Look how pretty she is. And I swear she looks just the same now.
She really does.
What do you do when you're retired and you're still insanely hot?
Well, why don't you figure out what she makes a year on the Wheel of Fortune?
Is it enough to buy your own island?
You tell me. Do some math on this.
She was extremely compelling, and she was a major part of the show for 35 years, so I'm guessing a boatload of money.
You multiply that for me while I tell them that on the Wheel of Fortune, she made $8 million a year. $8 million a year.
No freaking way.
Do the math. So 35.
The people on Friends didn't even make 35.
That. Keep multiplying.
Okay, stop. You're getting me all distracted
If
now.
I made $800 million.
$28 million. No, it have to be way more than that.
Yeah.
$280 million. No. 208. No.
No wonder we're going to prison for our taxes.
$280 million. That's a lot of islands.
Well,
that's extra islands.
If I got $8 million a year presenting, I would do it everywhere I go. It's like, kids, your breakfast is ready. Little Johnny went to the bathroom and the toilet. See what I mean?
$280 million.
I'm feeling frisky.
That one's not going to work for you.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry,
not.
but yeah,
$8 million a year. $8 million a year. Uber is in the news.
Well, are we going to tell them after the Tesla story? Because I want to know about
this. Oh, you want to know the Tesla story?
Explain this to me, because we have friends who are like obsessed with this dealership. This is all they think about.
All right, Teslas. And this is in all the models, I think. They just did an upgrade in software and basically gave them all this information, make it safer on the self-driving cars as well as the others that aren't. And they have a big display on the dashboard, that tells you all about the car.
You're super safe, and this is a very hip car, so you're like even cooler than you knew.
In the software, there's an Easter egg.
Really?
Which means?
Well, an Easter egg is usually just a hidden piece of information that pops up during specific periods, and if you're looking for it, it gives you a little something extra.
And the something extra can turn you into Van Gogh, because when your car is stopped in traffic, you can actually go on and do your art.
No way.
Yeah, let's see this.
I want to see this.
Okay, for the people wondering what triple tapping does, if we triple tap it, it turns into a huge canvas where you can kind of just draw whatever you want, and then you can submit it to Tesla. So, do you want Tesla to critique your masterpiece? My work isn't ready. I'm an artist. My work clearly isn't ready. Just want to show. Okay, for the people wondering.
Look at that.
You know, my traffic stops aren't that long.
Yeah.
I mean,
So here.
and that really wasn't a big fancy. He wrote hi.
Well, he's the CEO. Here's the big deal about this. If you're proud of it or not, you can still publish it and you can send it. The only problem is no one knows where it goes. Except for the fact that on Twitter, the CEO makes comments and posts your picture and makes
funny.
comments on them.
I shall critique your art.
Right?
Oh, that's hysterical.
Okay, now we're talking about cars. Now we can go to Uber. And Uber driving, I mean, it's a full-time job for some people.
Well, you know, what's amazing to me is how compelling it can get, though, because these soap opera stories start, and you start hearing about people's lives and their relationships and the drama of travel and all the things they went through. But rarely do you have the Uber driver be part of the whole drama.
All right, so here's the deal with Uber. There's this young woman, and she has a boyfriend. And she's a driver. She's
Very
a
pretty
pretty
girl.
girl.
Gorgeous.
And she's an Uber driver. And then she was called to Uberize someone at the airport.
So she tweets this. She says, so about an hour ago, I pick up a girl at the airport, and she puts the apartment complex in the GPS. She says she's here to visit her boyfriend, and
Right.
she's so excited. She says, I haven't seen him in forever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm relating yeah, my man just left out of town. I totally get that. I'm with you. And so...
All right, so she picks up the girl and this woman, and she drives it back to the GPS apartment that she GPSed in, and she notices something.
It's the same apartment complex.
It's the
She goes-
guy's car.
She goes, I even let her use my auxiliary cord. And so I was burning up inside when she says, yeah, I think this is right here. This is his car.
Oh,
Unhappy,
man.
angry face.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Should
Yeah.
we wrap it up?
So then his butt comes out of the house ready to assist with her luggage, and the devil rose up out of me like, you are dead right now.
Man.
And he runs.
Oh, he ran away. She gave him
That's
a little bit of a
epic.
beating, though, which one should. That's horrible.
It's like that, but you know, the best part, though, is you're following it on Twitter, because that's what makes it so epic, because you're like, oh my God, what happens now? What? Tell me what happens now.
Oh, my gosh. And there's a good
That's
amount of time
brutal.
between the tweets as reality starts unfolding. So, I mean, it really kept people waiting and waiting for the resolution, which is basically the boyfriend got slapped around.
I'm always going to remember that the devil rose up in me.
All right? We
yeah.
should use that phrase. No, let's not use that phrase. What am I thinking? All right, so
Now, why did you need Daisy for this? You said you needed an expert British
no,
accent.
not yet. So I'm going to do. Oh, that's right. Why am I so screwed up today?
Oh,
All right.
it's not just
Daisy,
today.
come here. We need your help.
It's not just today.
Oh,
Hey, sweetie, come in.
all right.
I must tell you, it adds a level of continental flair that we have Daisy here in the
Uh-huh.
Gephardt Daily Newsroom,
What-
because she's got the cool accent. She's from Britain. She's got
What
all
part?
the European things.
What part of England?
Bath, southwest England.
Say it
Say
again.
it again.
Bath. Bath.
No, those really ruined it.
Say straw.
What?
Straw.
Straw.
All
Say
right.
bottle.
Bottle.
Say table.
Table.
It's just the same.
Table's the same.
Yes. How disappointing that was. All right, so we're gonna put something on the screen, and I want you to pronounce this the way English people do. Go ahead.
Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
Oh, and the rest as well?
Well, no, it's
Donuts.
not gonna work. Leave. Okay, sorry.
What do you mean? She did it wrong?
No. They're thinking about changing the name in England because people keep calling them Krispy Kreme
Oh, Krispy Kreme.
because the French influence.
Oh, it must be that I'm not posh enough.
Yeah, that
The
must be
Queen
it.
probably calls them Krispy Kreme.
What's wrong with
Bring me a Krispy Kreme donut, please.
And she keeps them in her purse.
Bonus Queen
Right?
accent at no charge to you this morning. What's this offensive about calling them cremes?
Well, it's French for cream creme. That's why.
So they just think it really doesn't personify the donuts.
Right, so they're worried about it. So they thought, well, maybe. And the problem is, it's almost April 1st. So maybe they just have a sense of humor. Well, you become 300 pounds. Eating Krispy Kremes.
Crumbs.
I'm never going to say Krispy Kreme again.
I know, it's very continental. Oh, you need to know this. So Erin has these hillbilly, what do you call them? To fix herself, like from Appalachia.
Are you talking about my white trash fixes?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, it's just like folk cures because my mom, we're Scottish, and so we wouldn't waste time on things like hospitals or emergency rooms. So,
I think,
when you can sew a leg back up with thread,
I think the expression in your house was rub some dirt on it.
Pretty much, yeah. So anyway, for cold sores, which is like canker sores, excuse me, now you've got me doing it. Canker sores, when you got them when you were a kid and your mouth's all raw and you can't eat anything? She would bust out the world's most painful home remedy. And unfortunately, it's so effective, I still use it today.
So Erin said, okay, you can show this. All right, so here we are. And wow, there's a face. Wait, in the mirror. Wait. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so.
I was wondering when couples do that, I'm like,
you're
making fish lips in them.
So, tell them what you're doing.
I feel like
By the way, this is the first time in 20 years of marriage that I have been able to witness this. Does my stomach really stick out that much?
You're so shallow.
Back to you.
No, I feel like one of those old West guys who takes a shot of whiskey before he's going to get a bullet dug out of his lung.
So tell them what you're about. First of all, you have a canker sore.
No, I've got a canker sore the size of like Pangea on the inside of my mouth, and it's going to be impossible to talk tomorrow. So I'm from a very frugal Scottish family.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
There's no fancy medications for us. That's alum. Basically, you use alum to like pickle, pickles. But it also burns the living crap out of a canker sore, and then by the next morning, you're usually healed enough that you can talk okay.
All right. So what do you do?
But it burns like acid.
Hence the wine you drink. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Classy out of a tumbler.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Oh, God, oh, God.
Ow, my poor baby.
I hate it so much.
Oh.
You have to keep coating it too.
You what?
You have to keep coating it.
Oh my God. Poor thing.
It really just hurt. I know.
Oh.
Okay, that's good.
Is it better?
No, not
No,
good.
it's not. Okay.
Are you sure you want to follow this?
Childbirth. You didn't swear. I love you so much. I love you so much. How long do you keep it on there?
About a minute, so you may just want to give it. I want to just end this now because it's going to only. I think you're going to get worse and worse.
Does it hurt as much as it did before? Oh, you're putting more on. Wow.
You have to close it.
Okay. Does it hurt afterwards?
No.
I swear to God, this is the first time in 20 years of marriage that I've seen you do this. I've heard the screams. From the other
well, I didn't try not to usually go in.
Okay. All right. You
Okay.
good?
All right.
You okay?
Okay, now I gotta rinse it out. See how you look here.
I love you so much.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You're taking these freak.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Oh, you kidding me?
Oh, come.
More?
Those trays. Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know how much I hate watching yourself.
You liar.
Well, I'm so glad it's you and not me because that looks extremely painful. You okay? Can I get you?
No, it's the second time.
Do you want me to rub your back?
No.
Okay.
That didn't help during labor either, pal.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now it's done.
Okay, so I'm just going to back slowly out of the room. All right. Yeah, my stomach does stick out. Oh no, I'm concerned. Are you okay?
Shut up. You're okay. Your gut.
Okay, I love you. Step. It's just the dog.
So that is granulated alum. In case you want to try that delightful folk remedy at home, or you could basically just hit yourself in the head with a hammer.
All right.
It pretty much feels
so
the
on
same.
Facebook.
Thank you for your compassion, by the way. I could see all through that video how much you cared for my suffering.
They said basically what you said on Facebook. Stop laughing, you're a moron. What happened to the dog? Is the dog okay? Crashing down the stairs. And yeah. And why were you laughing so much? And it's a nervous laugh.
Really? Is that what you're going with?
Yeah.
That's what you're going with.
All right. I think we could break the tension right now. every day at the end of our show, the Todd and Erin Morning Stream. We like to leave you with something that
Inspires,
uplifts,
redeems your faith in mankind and the world at large.
Shall we? Let's.
Go ahead, sing.
A tortured soul.
Oh, he's adorable.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. This is the artiste coming from deep within.
It is. I don't know if you knew, but this dog writes for Nickelback. Anyway, thanks for joining us. It's the Todd and Erin Morning Stream.
Have a great weekend.
Monday. We'll see you Monday right here on GephartDaily.com.